Welcome! In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the SmartDevil electric heater. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So if we look on the side, it gives suggested uses. So we have classroom, office, bedroom, living room, hotel, and accommodation. It lists some specs on the back. Rated power is 950 watts. On the other side, it shows some features. It has a handle to make it easy to remove. It has a filter in the back that you can take off for cleaning. It has touch controls in the top. It has different modes like high, low, and a natural wind mode. It oscillates with a 70-degree oscillation. And it has a switch to turn it off if it's tipped over. So let's get this open. Here we have a warranty card and a manual. Let's take a quick look at it. So you'll want to read through this to learn the correct operation of your heater. So you touch the on button to turn it on. It has a mode button. It says if you tap the mode button, the machine will change to low warmth and the bottom will light up with a dark red indicator light. Tap again to change to natural wind and the blue indicator light will light up. Tap again to change back to high warmth and then in turn. The circular button is for oscillate mode. If you press the power button again, it will shut off. If the heater is covered while it's on, the automatic temperature reset will be engaged and it will shut off. After you shut it down, the fan will continue to run for 20 seconds to cool down the inside of the heater. And here's a diagram of the heater. Here's some product maintenance, troubleshooting. Let's get the heater out. Now this is a very compact heater. Pull the plastic off. It has a little handle in the back to help you carry it. The power cord is right around 5 feet. On the back we have this filter. We pull up here. We can take this out. So this is just a little mesh kind of filter to keep large dust particles out. Here we have an on-off switch, so this kills power to the heater completely. There's tip-over protection on the bottom, and we have some rubber feet. Then we have the touch buttons for rotation, mode, and on-off. So let's get this plugged in. So I have my power meter here. So the on switch is completely switched off. Let's turn that on. And it just beeped. So I'll let this settle for a minute here. So it's currently drawing 0.3, 0.4 watts in standby mode. So when you turn that switch off on the bottom, there is no watts drawn in standby mode, but this is the power that it takes for the electronics to work for these touch buttons. So to turn it on, we'll hit switch on off. So this turned on. So this is on the low heat mode, and this uses a PTC heater. So I feel heat coming out, and it's currently at 1030 watts or so. It's jumping around. It's dropping now to 980. And when I read the instructions, I guess I read that wrong. When you turn it on, it's going to go into the high mode. So this is the high mode now, and it's settled on around 940 watts. If we press the mode button a second time, it goes into the lower mode. So I'll let this run for a minute, and now it's down to around 700 watts. It's still falling a little bit slowly, but it seems to be settling around 700 watts. Now if we press this again, now it's just in the fan mode. So this is drawing around 4.7 watts, 4.8 watts. So say you're using this in a camper or in an office, and maybe you're just a little bit hot and you want some cool air blowing over you, you can use this as a small fan. So a nice feature of this heater is it has the oscillate mode, so we can press rotation. And now it's going to start to oscillate. So this has a 70-degree arc. So it's a little bit under a right angle. So if you have maybe 2 people you want to heat, you could turn it on this mode. Now this also has that light on the bottom. Since it's blue, we know it's in the cool down mode. Let's turn it back up to heat, so we'll hit mode. Now we have it on that high heat. And this light has turned red. So as I run this, I don't feel any heat on the table itself. It's projecting the heat out. So I'm going to point this at the wall. I'll turn it on. And then I'll point my thermal camera at the wall, and we'll see the heat this projects. So I'll turn the rotation off for now. I'll turn the heater off. So now this is cooling down, so it's going to run, I think it was 20 seconds. So that's just going to blow that air through there with the heater off to cool it. So I'll let that kind of finish out, and that has shut off. Now let's feel the front. So that's a little hot. I can hold my hand on there. It's maybe slightly uncomfortable. But it cools off very quickly. Now I can easily just hold it on there. I think when I held it on the first time, it really kind of sucked all the heat away from it with my hand. Of course, this isn't a feature I was testing to see if it was still hot if you did touch it. Let's see what it's like now. Yeah, it's just still a little bit warm. So I'll point that at the wall, and I'll get my thermal camera out and we'll turn this back on. Okay, so here we see the heater. The wall's in the background. It's at around 58 degrees. I'll turn the heater on, and I'll point the heater towards the wall. So this is currently on the high mode. So I also have some wires there. There's a little wire there. It's getting a little hotter. And now you can see the wall starting to get warmer. It's at 63 degrees. Now this is a concrete wall, so it's going to absorb a lot of this heat. But we should still be able to see it. So you can see it's heating up that part of the wall pretty quick. The heater's about 2 foot from the wall. Let's turn it on oscillate mode. I did move the heater a little bit. So here you can see it's starting to heat up a wider area. You can start to see that yellow creep to the left and right of the center point. Now it's going to take longer when it's oscillating because it's only on a given area for a shorter amount of time, but it is going to heat a larger area. Here we're looking at the surface right in front of the heater. So this is setting on my bench, and you can see it's not heating up the table. So you shouldn't put this on surfaces that are flammable, but if you have this sitting on a floor, you don't want that heat going right into the floor, right in front of the heater. You really want the heat to go out into the room, heating up the occupants of the room. But if I touch this here, the table immediately in front of the heater is cool to the touch. You can actually see the warmth of my hand heated up the table. And here you can see that wall is heated up even more. And here you can see the heater from the front. It's around 300 degrees right in the middle. If we come off to the side, we can see it's cooler. Let's go to the top of the heater. It's around 70 degrees. The base of the heater is around 65 degrees. Okay, so the heater's back pointing at me. It's on high. So let's say the dog tips it over. It shuts off. Let's say you have a really smart dog that lifts it back up. It beeped, but it doesn't turn back on by itself. You need to hit the button to turn it back on. So I really like that feature. I'm going to turn the lights out so we can see what this light looks like in the dark. So I'll turn this on. We can see the red light at the bottom. This is on high. We'll hit it again, it's on low. So it was a brighter red light for high, a dimmer red light for low. We'll press it again, and we have blue for when the fan is running. So I wanted to show the light in the dark in case you have this in a bedroom. Some people don't like lights in their bedrooms. It doesn't bother other people. Now I find that red lights are not as bothersome as a blue light. So if this was on the regular heat mode, or especially the low mode, that's very, very dim red light. Now the blue light, I probably wouldn't want to put this right in front of my face, but that's my preference. But if this was over in a corner circulating air, I probably wouldn't notice it as much. So that's the SmartDevil electric heater. I really like the size of this. It's very, very small. Doesn't take up much room. So a heater like this could work well in an office, a bedroom, an RV, maybe a hotel room. I like that it has multiple modes, so you can put it on high, low, or just the fan mode. So if you're really cold, you can have it on high, or if you just want a little bit of warmth, you can turn it on that lower mode. Another feature I really like on portable heaters is an oscillating mode. Oftentimes I want to use a heater like this to heat up more than one person, or even if I'm using it myself, I may not want that direct heat all of the time. So when it moves back and forth, it's going to spread that heat out a little bit. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.